Hi, friends. Welcome to a bonus episode of the Family Vacationer. Disney, all set to open this coming Saturday. We're bringing you this special edition to hear from Rob on what you can expect on your next Disney vacation. And it all starts right now.
Welcome to the Family Vacationer with Rob and Danny, the go-to podcast for families on the move.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Rob.
And I'm Danny.
And today we're looking at all the changes in place for Disney World reopening.
Yes, Rob, you and I have talked about the reopening possibilities. So now that we're here, I want you to clarify what's actually been decided. But first, I want to talk about the dates. You might have read or heard that you can go on July the 9th and 10th, but what is the stipulation on that really quick?
That's for pass holders. And I believe they've had some preview days, and I don't know if it's been for the media or if it's been for cast members who were able to invite people. But I've seen pictures down there from today, and I think yesterday and today. And the funny thing is, and we'll go into the dates in a second, but the funny thing is how much emotion these bloggers are showing just in be able to walk around Disney World for the first time. A lot of these folks go, once or twice a week, and so they haven't been in 4 months, and it's been the first 4 months they haven't been in, for some of them their whole lives. So the amount of emotion that they're showing is pretty funny, but I mean, it's pretty genuine too. So 9th and 10th, we're looking at pass holders. And you must have registered in advance. So if you're a pass holder and you haven't already registered, you're probably not going to be able to get in, but the reopening date is the 11th.
All right, July 11th. So I want to start with the basics here. We're going to start big and go more detailed. Which parks are opening first?
So Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom are both opening on the 11th, with Epcot and Hollywood Studios opening on the 15th.
Okay. Let's talk about safety measures. What kind of safety measures have they put in place? Are masks an absolute requirement? What are we looking at?
Masks are a requirement, and I know that's a hot button issue with a lot of people, not just at Disney parks, but just in life in general. So there's no way around it. It's going to be hot. The Florida sun, if you've been to Florida in July and August, it's very, very warm. But yes, masks are required. They are going to have some areas where you can take off your mask and just kind of relax for a minute. That might be a good thing to do with the kids, if they're kind of rebelling against the mask after a time. But yes, you are going to be required to wear a mask. Entering the park, you're going to get your temperature checked. All the employees are going to have masks, and there will be social distancing markers in place everywhere. So, Disney, they're going to do everything they can. They're going to do it right. They're going to have signs everywhere on the ground, A-frames, you name it, to let everybody know what's expected of you.
Right. Okay. Now, you and I have mentioned before the possibility of reduced crowd capacity. So what is that looking like right now?
So everything's controlled by a new reservation system, the Disney Park Pass system. So everything is going to run through that. And we've talked in the past about how, you need to have My Disney Experience loaded on your phone. Yeah. Well, now that it's something you're going to have. So just, if you're making plans to go in the next couple of months, make sure you have that downloaded and you're running everything through your My Disney Experience and the Disney Park Pass.
Even the pass holders need to do this as well, right?
Everyone. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I want to talk to you about transportation. I know buses have been operating already for a while. Monorails and ferries, are they resuming as well?
The monorail has already, I think, begun. The monorail's already reopened. Disney Skyliner is going to reopen on July 15th, and just in time for the reopening of Hollywood Studios. If you've gotten used to taking the minivans all over, those, they haven't set a date for when those are going to be back up and running, or the watercraft, not the ferries, but the water boats that take you from like Boardwalk to Hollywood Studios. So those are kind of given a little bit of a pause, just I think probably because they're tight spaces, and they're trying to figure out how all that's going to work, as well as if you take Uber, which a lot of people like to do that every once in a while between the parks. If you're don't want to wait on a bus or whatnot, just know that you are going to have to wear the mask. And I think Uber and Lyft both require that now when you have one of their rides. There is one thing to consider about Disney transportation as Disney reopens, and that is the trams that go through the parking lot will not be operational as Disney reopens. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The reduced capacity will help, but that still can be a long walk, so that is something to keep in mind. And we need a breaking news sounder. It just came across my email, but 2020 Disney packages are now available to the general public. They were taking care of pass holders first, and then they were taking care of people who had made reservations previously during the time that the parks were closed. But now 2020 registration for Disney family packages are open. So if you're wanting to go to Disney, you can do so now. So make sure you either book that or call your travel agent to make your arrangements.
Okay. Anything else in general that visitors might need to know before they go?
One thing I've noticed in the past couple of days, just from the pictures that I've seen, is the something unique that Disney has done. You know, they're not going to do character signings. Mm-hmm. So what they've done is come up with these opportunities for, it's kind of like drive-by, you know, where the characters, like in Animal Kingdom on the waterway, they're doing rafts where the Disney and boats and stuff where the Disney characters are waving at everybody. One of the bloggers actually said that it was the most that they'd seen Disney characters in the park ever. So they're kind of compensating. Yeah, they're compensating for not having those set times to do the character signings by coming up with unique ways of getting the characters out into the park where they're not causing people to stop and, you know, getting lines and just we talked about this many, many times, and this is true on a regular family vacation, but especially now wherever you go, but especially Disney, Universal, you're going to have to pack an extra suitcase full of patience. You're just going to have to know. Again, nobody's gone through this before, so they're writing the rules for this as they go along. Some of the times they might miss the mark, and I think it's just important that people give Disney the benefit of the doubt right now, knowing that they're doing the best that they possibly can.
They really are. And, you know, when you mentioned that too, I wanted to say this. I'm looking at the dates. The first two parks are opening. Now, I'm guessing personally that Disney, as you said, will be doing a lot of evaluating, assessing how things are going, what's working, what's not working. So I don't know about you, but I expect that any of these procedures could probably change at any time. We may see more coming into place. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think if you consider the spikes in the coronavirus that are occurring, I think it's 32 states have a spike right now. I think they're going to continually look at what they're doing and make sure that everything is in the best interest of not only the guests, but the employees. And that's another thing I think people really need to consider if you haven't considered this in the past, is all the Disney employees that work so hard to give you and your kids that magical experience. And this is going to be even tougher for them as well. And I know they probably have a lot of trepidation about going back to work, and especially in this environment. So, you know, just be gracious. Just thank these folks for working for you and being out there in the heat. They're wearing masks, and, you know, Disney's not giving them the option of whether or not to wear the mask either. So, keep that in mind as you go. But I think that's fair. I think, you know, as the conditions on the ground change, I think so will the policies and the procedures at the park.
Yeah. You got to remember, Snow White can still be contagious.
Yes, she can.
I'm sorry, folks, but she can. Anyway, well, Rob, thanks for all the info, getting us caught up on the Disney experience that's coming soon. If you're planning to venture out to Disney anytime soon, be sure to do your research ahead of time, because as I've said, this could change at any time.
That's right. And this is the self-serving travel agent mentioned here. It's a good time to use a travel agent to help monitoring and, you know, going through all these changes that are, I mean, sometimes it does feel like it's daily, the things are changing. So use a travel agent. I would love to help you with your Disney vacation or any other vacation. So drop me a line at rob@thefamilyvacationer.live, and we'll get that family vacation planned and get you guys going. Well, that'll do it for this bonus episode on the reopening of the Disney parks in Florida. Check back with us next week, and we'll see you then.
Thank Thank you for listening to The Family Vacationer. Make sure and subscribe to hear more of Rob and Danny.